Hello, hello, hello. Let's do this. All right, welcome to the 1400s. Little by little, we've made it there. Let me see if we're ready. It looks like we're ready. All right. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And let me move you to the side. What am I supposed to do here? All right, guys, if you have any questions before we start, just let me know. Well, I guess it won't do it. Hey, 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 hey. I'm trying to get ready, but it won't let me. All right, so we continue using the same material, the same opening system as both white and black. We've made it from 500 to 1400 already. I think we are at 1408. Let's see if we can make it. Hey, Robert, what's going on? Hey, hey, hey. All right, almost ready here. Okay, perfect. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. All right, we're good to go. Hello, Israel. All right, guys, without further ado, let me go ahead and make sure I got 5-5. Let me bring... All right. Well, welcome aboard. Let's see how this goes. We got the white pieces, and of course, we're gonna do the same setup. We got D3. Well, I hope it's not a bad thing. Yeah, I got a lot of people tell me, oh, when I'm playing in the tournament, I hear your voice telling me, do this, do that. All right, so even though we're playing as white, our opponent chose sort of like a classical setup. Let's see how it goes. All right, now right away, you can go with the central fork. That's it. D4, their center is completely destroyed. It's not as powerful as it used to be. And you have this surprise factor as well. Typically, as you move up the ladder, your opponents will try to preserve the pair of bishops. Not the case here. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna go over the first moves. Oh, come on. I'm really putting that in there. All right, thank you. All right, so let me go from the beginning. So my opponent, even though we're playing as a white pieces, the moment they do this, it's like playing a Pirc defense. Then they play knight f6. This is the classical variation. And after bishop c5, it's perfect for the central fork. We take, and then pawn to d4. So that their center is not what it used to be. Now, let me continue to put more pressure. Thank you. I'm like really trying to push that course, guys. All right, I'm gonna take. I'm not even gonna hesitate because at the very least, they get a very bad pawn structure. They're gonna take here now, or they trade queens as well. This is even worse because now not only are they with a bad pawn structure, but they're down a pawn, and the queens are simplified. So for me, simplification is perfect. All right. I thought they were gonna go to b4 and this would be covered, but no, they went to d4. I cannot defend them both. So I have the option to go knight a3 and really defend this pawn, or knight c3 and really defend pawn. Which one? Okay, let me go knight a3. I want to defend this pawn. If I drop this pawn, all of a sudden they have a pawn majority on the queen side. All right, no big deal. We cannot have it all. Still, I like my position because they got really ugly pawn structure here. All right, let's improve our pieces. They're still behind in development. We only got started. All right, let me improve the rook as well. I'm gonna go back. That's it. Let me keep the bishop on this diagonal. Nothing fancy. We haven't done anything crazy yet. Let's see if our opponent makes mistakes. This bishop still is a problem for black. So let's see how they deal with it. Yeah. All right. Do I want rook on the 7th rank, or do I want to preserve my bishop? You know what? I'm gonna keep it simple. Rook on the 7th rank. We cannot go wrong with that. All right. Now they must feel better because our pawn structure is not that great either, but I do have the better pawn. I have the more active pieces. Knight c4, my knight was doing nothing. Let's bring it over. I'm assuming this is gonna come at some point, but then we have double rooks on the 7th rank. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, yep. Simple chess. All right. Now I'm assuming a5. They don't want to lose the a pawn, but then so I'm thinking a5, rook b7, rook b8, and then we take on f7. Does that make sense? Okay, they say nope. What to do? Rook endgames. I guess I could take on f7 now. Is that what I want? Is that what I really want? I could take rook d2. Then rook b7, you take on c2, I take on b6. Good morning. I think I'm gonna go with 7. This one is fancy, but at the end of the day, it's just a pretty bad pawn. So let me take this one that is a healthy pawn. welcome aboard. Then, yeah, let me do this. And what did I do? I didn't realize this is falling. Well, I think I'm gonna have an extra pawn. Notice how we went from the opening to the middle game, nothing fancy. And we got a better position. Again, I don't want to take this pawn. I'm going to keep my outside pass pawn, then activate the king. All right, let's do this. Active kings. Now, careful not to do a move like this. You lose, oops, sorry. You lose the rook. All right. Now my king is coming over to help that pawn. If we trade rooks, the game is over. Completely over. We go around if we need to. All right, we're defending the pawn for all we know. All right, pawn is defended, the rook is off the hook, so the powerful rook can go over and help. Now, when we get this pawn, it's gonna be another pass pawn that we have, and this time it's going to be a protected pass pawn. Takes. Yeah, this has to be good for us. I could play a 4, I guess, if I really want to keep it. Hello. Now to take on h7, they play f3. Take on f7, they take on f2. This has to be winning. The question is, do I want that? Or do I want to play f4? I don't think we need f4. Let's do it. Good morning. Hope you guys are having a great Monday so far. All right, we take this one. Let's go. Passed pawns are meant to be pushed. I don't like that my king is passive, but we cannot have it all. Get out of here. I have to be careful with h6 and then rook here. If I have to pick one, I'll pick the Queen's Gambit. Good morning. All right, so look, I wanted to do this because I know for a fact these two connected are very powerful. This isolated pawn, not so much. Right, let me just push you. Hey, I've seen you moving up slowly, but you're making good progress. Okay, if I go here, let's do it. The thing is that this pawn, without the help of the king, which is by the way cut, the pawn is not gonna make it anywhere. So my king controls the only pass pawn, and my rook defends everything. Although I just made a mistake, I think. No, I don't think so. Yeah, if they ever go after this pawn, I'm gonna go after this one. Look, in bullet, you have to go with Hikaru. To be honest, I haven't seen much of Nihal, but I think you have to go with Hikaru, at least for now. Cha. All right, I think we're winning this no matter what, but cha. Let me risk it for the biscuit. Good day. All right, and for those of you who are joining now, we're basically doing this speed run we started a few days ago. We started our 500 using the opening system we covered in the Chessable course. And we're already at 1400. Let's see how far we can make it today. All right, so I'm thinking this should be the move. But what if I go h7 first? Let me go king f2. You know, it depends on your style. It depends on your preferences. I prefer the Caro-Can if I have to pick one because when I first started, there was so much emphasis on, you know, the good pieces, the pawn structure, and always seeing that bishop blocked by the e6 pawn. I didn't like it. But of course, as you go deeper into the French, you learn to appreciate it. All right. I think it's time to push. Now, look, it always comes down to, again, what you like. What's your preference? To me, the Pirc defense has been great because it is a system. I just need to know my setup and then the toolbox with the plans and then learn to use each plan. So it's been great to me. Everyone knows the Sicilian defense is probably the best. It's so popular, but it requires so much memorization. It's crazy difficult to learn. But again, it's completely up to you. Make sure that you enjoy it. Whatever you pick, you enjoy it. Little by little, you become an expert at it. That's how it goes. All right, this has to be an easy win now. Oh, no way. The moment I get cocky, they give me this. That was a nice resource. I can't believe it. And I thought of it when the king went here, but I'm like, that's nothing. Is there any way I can get out of it? There's just no way. Look, that was great. That was a great one. And I have no way out. Not even, if this pawn were in here, that would be a different story. Nice. All right, that's it. I'm gonna offer a draw. And well done. Very well done. All right, so that's, let me update this. That's 2 draws. That was a very nice one. Well done. Now, if this ever happens to you, guess what? Next time you come across something like this, you're going to have it present. Very, very present. All right, we go now. We should be getting the black pieces. Yeah, I just played mechanically. Oh, white pieces. Okay, we're going to do the same setup that we learned as black in the course, but we got one move, one extra tempo because we're the white pieces. That was a good game. That was a very, very good game. All right, so here, look. We got the setup in place. Now we gotta pick one of the plans. I'm gonna go ahead and choose e4. Then, do we want the knight on c3 or d2? Now, just for the sake of keeping it simple, I'm gonna go knight b to d2. We've talked in the course about how to play when you put it on c3 and so on. Yeah, let me take with the knight. Okay, pawn to c3. We talked so much about this pawn. Look, the black pieces are playing something very like an equivalent. Queen goes to c2. I don't want to give them the open file by taking. All right, let me develop my pieces. Nothing crazy. Rook to the open file. We haven't done anything crazy. Now let's ask for the bishop to leave. They're trying to go to e5 probably. Now if they go back, they wasted a move by going back and forth. If they had traded, we get the pair of bishops. Now knight g5 or knight d4. Magnus, what would you play here, my friend? What would you play here? Okay, bishop c4 is always annoying. Let me go knight d4, improving my pieces. You mean the position where I asked if you played knight e4? No, it was not a puzzle actually, if we're talking about the same one. It's just a matter of choice. Some people prefer to do the central fork, some people prefer c6, some people actually said none of the above, just a6, which is flexible. But maybe you're talking about something else. All right, we keep improving our pieces. What do you mean a member? Member of what? Yeah, you know, I've never been a fan of knight takes, but I think it's the preferred way to continue. Now, bishop e5 to provoke f6 or... Nah, let me go back. Nope. Actually, bishop e5 runs into knight c4, just like bishop e3. All right, so these mistakes happen. We missed that move. What do? Well, let's try to maintain the position. Oh, it's even worse than that. Okay, I'm gonna take you. And then I'm gonna take you here. So we get the pawn back. But two things. Number one, I have to admit I didn't realize I was hanging. Number two, I'm not so concerned about this queen here because they don't have any pieces to help him out right now. I have to be careful. Now, if they played rook a to d8, would you take? Would you go queen takes rook? I think I would. We've talked about how two rooks could be better than the queen. But let's see. All right. Cha-cha-cha. Okay, let me go a3. Just trying to take... I should have taken probably first. I have the feeling, I think, my bishop is better than the knight in this position, but... Hello, hello, hello. All right, I'm gonna go for it now. All right, we doubled the pawn. We doubled the pawns on the queen side. They're weak. We're gonna put pressure. Ideally, I would get to double my major pieces on the 7th rank, just like in the other game. But this time we cannot stalemate our opponent. All right. Now this is not so much about getting the pawn, but about leaving this 7 available for the rook to go down there. Once I double my major pieces, that's gonna be too much. Always being careful with any ideas. You see, they're looking for ways to get us in trouble. Just looking for ways to get us in trouble. Can always go queen g2. All right, let me not get checkmated. Let me not get checkmated. Cha-cha. I gotta do this. I gotta give him something. Let's not be greedy. I trust we're gonna win this endgame because of the 3 versus 1 that we have on the queen side. But I was debating between rook d4, rook d7, rook d6. I'm almost confident d7 was a better move, but welcome to the club. I know exactly how you feel. I know exactly how you feel. All right, I fianchettoed my queen momentarily. Hello, hello, hello. All right, here we are. Here we are. Rook endgame once more. Rook endgame once more. This has to be the move just to keep my pawns intact. B4 creates 2 weaknesses, but maybe it's the way to go. B4. Let's go. At the end of the day, we gotta put those pawns in motion. I'm thinking, yeah, if they do that, we got C4. Maybe rook d2 was the more accurate move, just maintaining the position, but now here king f3, the same thing. I don't want him to get to the 7th rank, but I'm just gonna focus on pushing. Rook e2 is gonna take a while for them to do anything, and even if they do, I have rook c3. Now I don't want to play c5. I'm trying to play rook d6 and get that pawn. It's weak, isolated. Let's go. Again, this is the only thing they could do. Go for the base pawn, but rook c3 should take care of it. And indeed, they do have a pawn majority on the king side, but it's not so easy to put it in motion, not so easy to get anything out of it. All right. Thank you. Really appreciate it. And that's why I'm telling you, you have to get a good foundation when it comes to endgames. Nothing complex. Rook endgames, king and pawn endgames, you have to have them under control. As much as I don't want to, I think we have to. Let's risk it. I'm allowing rook b2, but I cannot have it all. Yes, that would have been ideal, but at this rating range that we are, most people, oh, this is a free pawn. Most people play the endgame with their ability to calculate. They make it to 1400 because of the tactics, their ability to visualize a little bit. So that helps them in the endgame. So if you know a little bit more, like some principles, it's gonna give you an edge. Now, if I take on e6, they trade everything over here and then they collect. This has to be winning. Now, if I go check, to d7, if they push, I get the pawn. Let me go here. what I want, what I really, really want is my rook on the 7th rank. Because not only that's where the pawns are, the base of the pawn chain is, but there are always ideas with the 2 rook checkmate pattern. Like if they pushed and I take, I only need this rook to get down there afterwards. Here we are. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Now, this is what I meant. Now, they have to be careful with the checkmate. And it's funny. I don't think any of the rooks could go and help. Uh-oh. But maybe we get in trouble. No, I don't think so. I don't think they have the time to do it. Now, when I go here, that's it. None of the rooks could go down there. I might have made a mistake. No, I think I'm good. Now, I put the rook here precisely because my king needs to land on d1. If they keep doing those silly checks, probably way better. I'm convinced that I'm not doing the best moves. I don't think they can... Oh, of course they can stop it. What am I saying? Okay, this king is cut off. My pawn is close to promotion. Let's say they go something like this. I take, they take, boom. Thank you. I'll take a look. All right, they had to do it. Now, I have to take. I think this is winning. You mean rook b8? I think we had rook b8 if my king were attacking the other rook, but... Okay, this is winning. Now I promote. If you go here, check, and then I promote. Okay, we go towards the rook. We have played 2 games in the 1400s, and they both made it to rook endgames. All right, let's go to the next one. Let me update this. So that's 131. D6. It looks like we're going to be playing a King's Indian defense. Good game. We have to really be put until the end. All right, I'm going to castle. This could be the other back. Or they could... there you go. There you go. Now, the other back, we had talked about a few ways to go about it in the YouTube channel. In the course, I'm recommending to use this setup. I have it prepared for some of my students. And to be honest, it's way easier to remember. You don't get the other back a lot. And when you do... you gotta remember it. So this C6, we see it all the time. Every single line where they do something aggressive, especially with this battery and opposite side castling, you wanna have something consistent. So C6, A6, B5. Guys, remember, this is mainly to supplement the Chessable course. So I'm assuming that either you have or you will go over those lines. Not to mention that if you have been following me on the YouTube channel, you have a lot of this idea already under control. And it's not that it bothers me, but I'm gonna drive you crazy if you already know the opening, the first 10 moves, and I explain it every time. Okay, that's a little bit odd. Very odd, actually. I'm gonna play B5 anyways. this is the dream for hyper-modern players. All of these pawns in the center, they look powerful, but they're targets for us. We just gotta provoke these advancements. No. Glad that you are finding some value in it. All right, a3 makes perfect sense. I'm gonna take. For all I know, you're not gonna castle to the queen side. Now, central fork, if you remember, I could just take on e4, or I could do d5. Now, in the Pirc versus Classical, I think it's chapter 1 or chapter 2. No, it's chapter 1. We talk about this central fork. And I think we could use it here. Like I told you yesterday, every time I get this fancy, I'm very careful not to be missing any details. Hey, it could be played. One of the best things about this opening system is that it's a system, so you have different ways to go about it. So h6 is probably fine. There are always some ideas with f6 as well. One thing to keep in mind is that they're being very aggressive, but their king is in the center. Now, back about what I told you a moment ago. That powerful center they had is gone. That's it. They went from having a powerful 4-pawn center to having an isolated pawn in the center. Like, look at this. Beautiful. And then all of a sudden, it's not there anymore. Hello. And that central fork, as much as I don't like it that much, it has that surprise factor. That's a nice way to put it. Now, they always have this fancy move, which is only a fancy move. Actually, it's a nice move. No, actually, it's not a nice move. It's not a good move. I'm thinking knight d6, we play f6, and what are you going to do about it? Hey, I waited, and I waited, and I waited. I waited, and I waited. Okay. Now h6 maybe. Maybe f6. Do I care about you? I should care about you. Let me go knight b6. I must have one. I always had issues with FIDE, but I think I finally have one. It's not the same as my United States rating, because I don't play a lot of FIDE rated tournaments, but I hope I have it. I hope I have it. All right. Interesting and annoying move, I have to say. Is it time to do this? Maybe not. Maybe a5, a4. I know this move is coming and I wish I could do more before that happens. Okay, let's go with this. And I'm gonna play this move because, no, I was gonna say, I wanna play this move because if they play knight f3, I could stop them from castling. Now, let me go a4. So you're right. c4 was smart. I cannot go to c4, but now I'm trying to dislodge that pawn. If the pawn is moved or if they take, I might go to c4 anyways. Look, I was really close to playing that, but I was really concerned about, not really concerned, but I didn't like the idea of getting here and then the knight takes and they double the pawn. It was great because I add more pressure on this pawn. So I don't know. All right, we take. No, it's not. And I knew that was gonna be one of the main questions. Like, for example, if you look at the YouTube channel, lesson 69 is when I first introduced you to the Pirc defense, and I talk about the classical variation. I didn't cover all of the, I showed you 3 games I played, but I didn't cover all of the plans, not in detail. And like the central fork, we didn't talk about it. All of these ideas when they play bishop d3 and we go knight c6 right away, we didn't talk about it. With the Austrian, I think we get something here. With the Austrian, I was recommending c5, which is a little bit very sharp. Like I gave up on c5 because it's too tricky. And even if I memorize everything before the tournament, I forget it soon after. So we're getting into the castle variations. Against the 4-pawn attack, should I worry about you? I don't think so. Against the 4-pawn attack, there's a very interesting line too. So it's not the same. I think I've never had it that organized and so much information. But of course, you have to pay for it. If you don't want to pay for it, you have the YouTube content, which is going to help you as well. Now, bishop d4 or rook d4. Roberto, hello. Now, bishop here, they move, I get a free rook. If you go bishop e7, let's say I go queen a5. I mean, I'm winning material easily. Rook d4, for some reason, it seems very powerful. Let's say you move. Nah, it has to be this. All right. Enjoy it, mister. And let me know if you have any questions. How was your trip? I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, so this is what we calculated. If you want to get the rook, you gotta trade queens. By trading queens, we go into an endgame that should be very easy to win, being up a bishop. I think it's the other back. We covered it on the course. It's chapter 9. We've talked about it on the YouTube channel, and I want to say Averback. Well, if you put my name in Averback variation King's Indian defense, you find it. Have no idea. He's somewhere cold. I saw a picture of him in the wind, in the snow, but I don't know exactly where. Rook d4 is better. I'm convinced. Like, I'm about to start doing something. Whenever I have 2 choices, decide the one I want and then do the opposite. That's probably the way to go. Okay, so it looks like I'm up a rook. So I could even just take here. I don't have to, but I will. The less pieces they have, the less counterplay. Okay. Now, one little principle here to keep in mind is when you're lacking one of your bishops, in this case, I don't have the light square bishop, it's a good idea to put your queen on the light squares in this case. So you have the 2 bishops anyways. So the queen replaces the bishop you are missing. All right, you know what? Let me not even get fancy. Go all the way back to safety. Thank you. The bishop. All right, we got that one. We got that one, and we go to the next one. So that'll be 132. And white pieces, but we play the same thing, but 1 tempo ahead. Oh, same opponent. Hey, we have all made those blunders. The sniper, I know. Hello, hello, hello. Now, don't be surprised if you see d5, knight f6. So we're playing our Pirc defense against that system, but one move ahead. There we go. Now, are they going to play knight f6, classical? Are they going to play f5, Austrian? Or something like bishop e6 with this 150 attack ideas? Nope. None of the above. Okay, what to do, what to do. What to do, what to do. I think I'm gonna go... I'm gonna go with c3. Flexible move, you always have this move at your disposal. We use it mainly when they go aggressive, but you could always play it. In my mind, it is. Of course it's not, because we're using this system as white. Let me actually see what chess.com puts it under. Okay. Let me see if this works. Why is this not working? Let me see if I can show you. Let me first go queen a4. Ideas that we talk a lot about. So chess.com is labeling it as King's Indian attack. Fair enough. Look, it didn't look like it, but it quickly took the shape of these aggressive setups. They're delaying the king side because most likely they're gonna go crazy and attack me there and then castle to the queen side. No, look, they still have the flexibility to go crazy, so I don't want to commit to that yet. C3 is the most flexible. Whenever I'm like, what should I do? And I'm not really certain, C3. When in doubt, C3 is gonna, oh, C6 when you're playing as black. King's Indian attack. Let me see if this, Now let me play b5 just to be energetic, just to put pressure. All right. That said, I always say it, people when they start playing these systems, King's Indian attack, King's Indian defense, they wonder, oh, when you put the knight on d2, what about the bishop? Don't worry about the bishop, it's fine. The bishop is fine. E4 has to be the move. I'm gonna play c4. Look at the pawn structure. Let's try to play on the queen side. Hello, hello, hello. All right. I had a feeling you'd play this sooner or later. Okay, let me take. Let's make it happen, Roberto. Let's make it happen. All right. They're happy because they've removed my fianchetto bishop. That's okay. Now, bishop b2 would come with a tempo. Then my rook could go to c1. All right. For all I know, we're fully developed. We got to the middle game. This is move number 14. We just played chess. That was probably the way to go. Yeah, sack this pawn and then collect on e5, right? c5 and then knight e5. That was the way to go. Definitely. Nice simple tactic. Nice simple tactic. There you go. All right. Now we keep focusing on this pawn, but more than that, it would be nice to chop off the bishop. By the way, this structure reminds me of the Sicilian dragon, of course, or the English as white. I knew this was going to happen sooner or later. The pawn is pinned, but as long as we were putting pressure, we should be okay. So probably queen takes b5. And then do we take or do we not take? Okay, you're gonna have to... What does BGM mean? Something obvious probably, but BGM, background. No, BGM, background? Could it be? Hello, hello, hello. Because I'm that bad, because I'm playing that fast, it was probably the better move. Or at least take with this knight, that way I could have taken here now. Or at some point. Oh, the music. That's from Epidemic Sound. I just went in there, found some tracks that I liked, put them in the folder. That's what we got. That's what we got. Now, to trade queens or not to trade queens? I wish I knew. I wish I knew. I don't want to trade. Like if I trade, they get double pawns, but they also get a pretty nice file. Now, I could go to b3. I could go to... No, c4 is not an option. I need to defend this bishop. So b3 or c2. c2, knight b4 is really annoying. Then queen c3. 5, no. It has to be queen b3 if I don't want to trade. And let me do that. If you want to trade, then you trade here. I just don't want to open up the A file for them. There's a lesson on that, Roberto, to stop making fun. There's a lesson on it. I want to say 100 and something. Hey, we're going up 8 points at a time. That's why. And the thing is that I'm being matched against people around that rating. They made a mistake. They made a mistake. This is hanging. Okay, the question is, do we take with the queen or do we take with the knight? It has to be taken with the knight. There's no question about it, but let's double check. And man, this bishop has to get in the game. It has to get in the game. Oh yeah. It was a very interesting game. It was a very interesting game. Now, I've been telling you since we started this at 500, below 12, 1300, in the first 20 moves, someone blunders a piece. It's either you or your opponent, right? So we just gotta get good at that. Vision of the board, simple tactics. Past 1400, in my experience, you have to have more endurance. You don't need to get really fancy, but make sure that you're consistent with your plans. Make sure that you don't run out of gas that quickly. Roberto saw it. 20, no, 12 more moves for this to be his prediction. Now at this point, this is already, it has to be losing. I can mess it up, but this has to be losing. Is this any good? There are probably a million ways to finish this, but I'm gonna choose knight out here. Hey. Nice to see you here. All right, so now this is check and then mate. The bishop, I told you the bishop was gonna be crucial. All right, that was a nice finish. That was a nice finish indeed. Uh-oh, what did I do? So new game, let me update this. Thank you. All right, black pieces, Pirc defense. Okay, classical, Austrian, 150, burn. Okay, the burn, we talked about, let's see, I'm gonna play 5. Bye-bye, thanks for dropping by, okay? All right, my opponent seems to not really know what to do now. Is that to go to the opposite side? Now remember, any signs, like in this case, they haven't developed the king side. They most likely gonna go to the queen side. C6 comes in, just like in the other game. B5 is coming, queen a5. Actually, I like queen a5 here because it hits this guy. Boom. No, not now, guys. I'm really trying to get this account up as high as I can, so I'm doing just this speed run. We started at 500. You can see those other ones on the YouTube channel, and trying to get it to 2,000 plus. All right, I get it. If I take queen b5. All right. Knight b to d2. That c6 pawn is so useful. If they take me, I replace it with another pawn. Now my knight is trying to get to the dark squares. In the course, one of the main things we talk about is, number one, how this beautiful center, we want to provoke them to advance. And then when they advance, we get these dark squares in the center, the diagonal. Look, there are lots of books out there. I know there are a lot of courses on Chessable too. I'm pretty sure if you look online, you're gonna find some book in PDF for free. But the good thing about the King's Indian attack is that it's all about understanding the plans. So you don't have a lot of up-to-date content. This doesn't really update that much. It's just a system, not specific sharp lines, right? So just do some research. I'm pretty sure you're gonna find something. Okay, what if we take now? If I take now, there's no check. And also remember how we talked about delaying castling. Like, I'm not so concerned. I haven't castled honestly because I've got this nice position or these nice moves. All right. If I play b5, what are you gonna do with your life? If I play b5, what are you gonna do with your life? b5, you gotta go queen e2. And then I get b4. That's interesting. I was gonna play this first, but b5 has to be the move. But you know, that's exactly what we want. That's exactly what we want. Like if I go back here, e5 is not possible, right? But let's say before, okay, right here, e5, I just take. The moment you take back, I could trade queens and then the knight goes to those halls or to g4. The moment is that the problem is that this e5, pawns in chess, they want to be like this. Like when they start, they're next to each other, controlling the square in front of each other, right? So that's what you get here. My pieces cannot really maneuver in the center. When you play e5, you allow me to get to d5. You allow me to go to g4 after and put pressure on it. So you shouldn't be concerned about it. All right. They gave us the piece. And now there's no way we're losing this game. There's just no way. Especially because if they want another pawn, they gotta simplify the game completely. That's it. If they take, I'm even considering to take with the king. There are no queens, so I should be safe. What do you mean? What do you mean? All right, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. All right, e4. Now my only focus is to simplify the game. Rook b8, improving my pieces little by little. Well, I guess he didn't like the alternative, which is, let me go back. So he had to go back, and after b4, I'm taking on a2. I mean, probably better than what he did, but all right. Cha. What to do next? What to do next? Okay. Whenever you don't know what to do, think which of your pieces can you improve, and you do that. Well, again, openings, it always depends on your style, your personality, but I mean, you have the all-time, some people criticize it, but you have the London system. It's popular for a reason. You got the Collie system. You got we had a video, lesson 121, 123, about the lazy Catalan. All right. What can I do? We're up a piece. Let me go a5. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I'm not gonna do it now. I'm not gonna do it now because I didn't see it. But it's there. It's a nice tactic. It's there. It is there. Difficult not to do it. But you know, it is what it is. Let me go back and look for this square. I was so focused on undermining the queen side. That was a nice tactic and I didn't see it. All right, improving our pieces. The knight went from c5 to b4. Sorry, b4. Now, they could always push the pawn, but b3 is going to be a long-term weakness. You called it. You called it. Okay, so this is what we wanted. Now, every time we move a pawn in chess, weaknesses are created. b3 is going to be our target from this moment on. So we go back to put pressure on b3. That's it. Little details. And again, this is how you go from 1400 to 1600. paying attention to these details. Tactics is not good enough anymore because your opponents are going to be pretty good at tactics too. Okay, this, nope, not possible. All right. Now, I don't think they want, well, maybe they do want, like if they go knight d4, I have this tactics discovery and I get the knight. If they go to c1, I had knight a4 because this would be hanging. Oh, they got the king, the annoying king. Everyone is putting pressure on that pawn. What to do? I have to tell you, this should be we're winning by a piece. Now the position is locked, so it's not that easy. You're right. You're right about that. You're right about that. But you know, if your intuition is not developed properly, if your tactics are not sharp, your antenna is not gonna go up saying, "Hey, this is a critical moment," and that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. All right. I don't like this knight in my territory, and I'm up a piece, so I need to simplify the game. It is good. It is good indeed. Slow process. Typically, it goes like that. You start, let's say, at 500. You get to 600, and then back to 500, and then back up again, and then until you finally adjust and keep on going, and then it repeats. That's definitely the way it is. Let's do it. Simplification. Let's go a4. My isolated pawn, I want to get rid of it, so let's trade. And besides, without the b pawn, c4 becomes weak. We're just looking for that weakness and put pressure on it. There's no way this guy can defend that well. I mean, there's a way, but it's much more difficult to defend than it is to attack. No, not today, guys, not today. We often do that. Not today. We gotta bring this account up and up. Speedrun mode today. All right, we cannot do that. Okay, I'm gonna go knight b6. Put pressure, put pressure, put pressure. Interesting how they can never use this A file because of our bishop. Now, if they move the king over to defend, I wonder if I should play the rook to the A file or rook c7. This rook is running out of squares, actually. All right, double up the rooks, and then they bring over. Oh, this is a nice move, actually. You see, it came to my mind. This time the antenna went off. It's like, this rook is running out of squares. How can I attack it? Well, if I go bishop c5, the rook is trapped. Okay, we got this. We got this. Well, I can tell you, it's not that difficult. It's one of the easiest titles you could get. Just get your rating up. Of course, easier said than done, but it's not that big a deal. Now, International Master is way more difficult. Grandmaster, of course. Okay, this has to fall. Now we up a rook. Like this is a lot. Yeah, I've gotten destroyed. We've gotten destroyed a couple times. Cha-cha, cha-cha. I think I can just take, if you take my knight, I take your rook. If you take my rook, my knight is off the hook. Now guys, it's a different story. It's a different story. I really want to get this done. We're gonna have time to play, to do like we usually in viewers and so on. Okay, let's go on little knight, pick up some pawns. This I'm not concerned, it's not gonna make it anywhere. Let me put, this is a pawn that stops 3 pawns. So this one cannot advance, this one cannot advance, this one cannot advance. Just in case, I really don't need to do this, but just in case, that's it. This pawn is not gonna go anywhere, the bishop is completely out of it, the king is completely cut off, so my knight could play along here. There you go. All right, longer games, but we're getting them done. Let's go to the next one. And again, Pirc's defense, it got a little bit weird, and this is where I can see some of you saying, oh, but he didn't cover queen d3. Well, figure it out. Use one of the plans that we talk about. If you understand the plans, you're gonna come up with c6. We talk about it a lot, and queen a5 and so on. All right, let's go to the next game. And this is 134. This was a nice game. This was a nice game. All right, same system, but as the white pieces. No, look, I'm not really like, I don't really follow tournaments. I don't know a lot. I'm doing my thing. I should. All right, my opponent is not ready. Now, just a speedrun account they gave me to use all the content from the Chessable course, and you know, for you to see it in practice. We're going from 500 all the way up. But at the end of the speed run, they give the points back to my opponents. Okay, this is a little bit odd. Many times when I play this, I actually start with g6, because if I start with knight f6, then they get the Trompowsky, which is not a big deal, but I don't want to have to learn those lines too. So I'm gonna go g6, bishop g7, and then knight f6. Just change the move order. I just don't want them to take my knight and mess up my pawn structure. There you go. Now, I can tell you quickly, National Master, I think it's 2200 or 2250. You got FIDE Master at 2300 FIDE. You got International Master at 2400. And you got Grandmaster at 2500. But International Master and Grandmaster, you also need to complete norms, which is basically, you go to a tournament, they tell you, hey, you gotta play based on the rating of the people you're gonna play in this tournament. If it qualifies for norms, you gotta get, I don't know, 6 points out of 9. If you get that requirement, you get 1 norm. When you get 3, you're an International Master, assuming you got the rating of 2400. Let me play knight b to d7. The Grandmaster is the same thing, but I think it is 2 norms instead of 3. Grandmaster norms, of course. Okay, I don't like any of my opponent's pieces in my territory for too long, so we ask them to leave. Opposite side. Automatically we play c6, b5. Let's do it. Absolutely, for a long time, that's all I played, King's Indian attack, and I have very nice games against the French, against the Sicilian. All right, let me kick you out of here. For all I know, I made contact first. Is that what we want? Is that what we really want? Hello, hello. Every day less and less, but still have private students. All right, I understand I'm allowing d5, which is okay. Which is okay. Let me go back. I wanted to do that. I wanted to provoke, and that's the whole point. You hear me say that a lot in the course. I'm really wanting to provoke that. The point is, by doing so, my bishop becomes a monster. Now this, I don't think it's a big deal. Let me go queen a3. Careful with my queen not to get... Oh, man. I would almost... I mean, I would honestly, just to continue with the game, wouldn't take it, but what do I do instead? I guess I just put it back, and then they fix it. Okay, queen goes to... I was on a5, right? Let's see if they get the hint. Okay, put it back to d2, and we go from there. Oh, no, to d3. So I go queen a5, and then they do what they wanted to do. I'm assuming it's a mouse sleep. No, they didn't get the hint. All right. Hey, my advice is, and this is something that I hear all the time by grandmasters, by players of all caliber. It is difficult to make money in chess. It is difficult. You probably are better off teaching than winning tournament prizes. It's tough. There's so much competition. So I'll recommend you leave chess as your plan B. My advice. So there's some places. How do we do this? Well, we're winning by a lot. There are these places. I'm pretty sure you have some that you go to that place, you do something, and they give you money for it. So it's called a job. You find a job, even if it's part-time, you get some money coming in, and then if you have time left and energy left, you put it into chess. Now, if you tell me money is not an issue, fine. You go ahead and do your chess thing. But if you're like the rest of us, priorities. It is, my friend. It is. I learned to play different table games like chess, checkers, dominoes when I was 5, but I never took any lessons or anything like that. When I was 12, almost 13, I actually went to the first academy, to the chess academy for the first time, and I started to really get into it. Now, are you trying to switch from the Grunfeld because, in other words, do you want something like the Grunfeld, or you simply want something quieter, it's more solid? No. Sounds fun, but no. Now, dominoes, Monopoly. There's one called Parchi. We say Parchi in Spanish. I don't know if in English it's the same thing. Well, I hate to refer you to the Chessable course or the YouTube channel, but that's the King's Indian defense. Very similar to the Grunfeld, not as crazy. It doesn't require so much theory, so much memorization. All right, we take that. Everything comes crushing down. We gotta have something good. They take the pawn. There has to be checkmate somewhere there. But you know, you also have this, as black, the Nimso Indian is an interesting one to look into. Can you mix Kali and King's Indian attack? I guess you might somehow, but nah, you can't. All right, we got that one, guys. We got that one again. This time it started like a King's Indian defense, Trompowski, and we're just delaying this knight f6 because we don't want him to take it and double up the pawns. That's it. Indication of queenside, we play c6, b5, and we play chess. Now let me change this. That's 135. Here we go. Same thing, but as the white pieces. Thank you. All right, bring it up. Now, if you do get to 2000, recommend everything else that you did. The opening by itself is not going to take you there. You need your tactics, you need your endgame, you need consistent training. I'm gonna do my best Portuguese pronunciation. Abraço para Ana Weverton, da cidade de Patrocínio. Weverton Silva. Hello. Yeah, I have to work on my Portuguese. All right, so look, we get to this setup. Knight c3 doesn't make sense. Bishop g5, of course not. c3 or simply knight b to d2. I'm gonna go knight b to d2, then pawn to e4, and this is officially the King's Indian attack. Nah, forget about that. Forget about that. The K factor. If you go and destroy your opponents, your rating is gonna go up. It's just that it's tough, man. For you to get there, you gotta, like, let's say it's never been my objective, but let's say I want to get to international master. I need to play lots of tournaments. For starters, I need to be committed to really train chess, at least 5-6 hours a day. If I have more and more, just training. On top of that, go to tournaments. You need to pay for hotels, getting there, entrance fee, food. It's tough. All right, enjoy it. Now, I appreciate the feedback, but just know that's your tactics. The system helps. It gets you to the middle game safely. But if you finish the game, it's because of you. You've been training. It's showing off. I don't want to take all the credit. All right, so we keep on going. Of course, if they let us, we play 5. Absolutely. This is very flexible. The only thing is you'll be getting into territory that I haven't covered, but of course you could do it. Hello, hello. All right, all right. All right, like I say in the course, and in my mind, the moment they play 5, this is already a King's Indian defense, right? So, like I say in the course, if they don't take me, I'm going to take them. Gracias, gracias, gracias. You do the same thing. Remember, guys, this is about a system. You do your system, pick one of the plans that we cover in the course or in the YouTube channel, and you're good to go. That's it. Look, one of the main complaints that I get from my students when they start learning the check variation is that it's not as flexible. It's not as flexible, not as dynamic as the regular Pirc defense. Like, you always get the same stiff structure. That's it. With the regular Pirc, you get different position types, a little bit more fun. But of course, at the end of the day, you pick what you like, what's working for you. No, I can't. I wish I could, but I can't. What to do, huh? Let me go back. I mean, cheap trick at first, trying to hit that knight, but also rerouting it. As black, we talk about the dark square strategy. Here it is the light square strategy because we have the white pieces, so these are light squares. Now look, I'll tell you this. The best thing you should be doing if you started a month ago is most of your time should be playing games. Play, because not even doing tactics. The main thing you gotta get good at right now is improving your vision of the board. What that means is, if you see this bishop was attacking the knight, it instantly, and they saw it, right? As a beginner, you're not gonna see it. Your eyes are not ready for it yet. So you play lots of games. You play. Your brain adjusts. You're gonna make silly mistakes, like maybe if you were black, you drop this. I dropped the knight. You do it another 10 times. On the 11th time, boom, you start seeing it. You start to see the board better. Then you start adding more tactics, playing and doing tactics. So that's the best thing you could be doing. So what you're doing is great. Just don't waste time on openings like most people do. Play games with whatever you've got. Play. All right, they defended, but my knight gets to e4. They have to be careful with this now. Yes, I was saying the other day, I'm starting to pay more attention to it because my opponents are just looking me up and they quickly see what I play and they're prepared for the first 20 moves. So yes, I have to. No, I just have a big one. So I have your comments over here. Okay, let me play. Do I want to play c3? Yeah, let me play c3 just to prevent you from landing on d4. b5 is always in the air, but it's great because my bishop is going to be a very powerful bishop if that happens. And my knight could go to e3. Downside of playing c3 is that d3 becomes weak, but again, you cannot have it all. There you go. I wonder how. Let me go queen c2. Our queen typically belongs on c2. Why not? Hey, long time no see. All right, we're fully developed. We're putting pressure on c5. What to do, huh? Rook on the same file as our queen, why not? Hello. Right, let me take here. Now my weak pawn on d3 is not there anymore. So that's nice. Now, what are you gonna take with? If they take with the bishop, we play b3. Hitting the... should I play b3? Because then this becomes weak. Okay, they took with the bishop. b3, you go back. Knight d6. I'm gonna play a3. But now b3 becomes weak. So I have to be careful with this bishop not landing here safely and skewering. No, you do the same thing. You do the same. Wait, let me. Cha. You do the same thing. Knight f3, f5, g3, bishop g2, castle, d3, knight b2, d2. You could play 4. Or you could get into the main line of the dodge. Just play d4, c4 with the fianchetto, and you'll be fine. You're going to make it to the middle game safely. So you make no mistake. You make no mistake, my friend. This speedrun is me using what we covered in the Chessable course, and we started at 500. We are moving all the way up to the 2000s. All right. Now, they gave us a pair of bishops. We also have a pawn majority on the queen side. So these little details really add up. Now, bishop d6, queen d6, or bishop e7. the closer we get to the endgame, the more powerful the pair bishop becomes. If they go to f5, no, of course not. Now, pair bishops, if you have it, you gotta look for targets. That's how it really helps. That's how it really helps. What to do, huh? All right, 2 squares away from the knight. Fine. Activate the king. I don't want to trade the bishops, not now. I want to do it when I want to, but not when you want to. Should I trade? All right, fair square. This was winning. I just missed it. Simple tactic. Bishop c8 and we get a knight. Now, maybe they give us a break. I don't think so. Opportunities don't come twice. It's not gonna happen twice, my friend. It's not gonna happen twice. Active king, active king. Okay, cha cha cha, cha cha. I cannot trade bishops because if I take this pawn, then they go. Now with this, I secure everything, and these pawns are falling. They have to be falling. Yeah, this guy is falling. Falling in love. Okay, no need to rush. Cha-cha. H4. Let's go. I don't think they can get to my pawn. I don't think so. It's all about one pawn making it to the end. Not two, not three, just one. This guy has made me be very accurate. Yeah, now we take with check and this is gone. Man. Whew. All right, that was a tough one. Tough endgame. Tough endgame. Tough. Let me see. Let me update this. So that's 6. All right, guys. Just because I am pretty far from my 1500, and I have to go in a little bit, I'm gonna change this to 3-minute games. Not as educational, maybe, but we've had a pretty good amount of games already with time. Now, same thing. It should be pretty easy by now. Oh, we got a piece, just like that. If I'm gonna be up a piece, I wanna simplify the game completely. That's it. Give me the bishop next. Simplification. It was indeed. It was. I don't want to trade you so quickly. Let me go bishop e3. Thing is that this bishop has not even moved, and my knight is really powerful, so let me hold on to it. Simplification, that's all I have in my mind. There's happy to do it. Everything is dropping. If rook b8, we go bishop a7. Now guys, this is today, I'm only focused on the material from the Chessable course, as black and as white. All right, we got that one. And white pieces again, we do the same thing. Now, let me just update this. That's 137. Let's put pressure on the pawn. All right, classical. So probably bishop g5. Yeah, let me go bishop g5. Now we eliminated the knight by the center. We want them to push those pawns. Come on. There we go. Do we go here? Why not? Typically we go to e4. They don't care. It almost looks like they planned it. What do you mean with opening are we playing? Look, that's the whole point of this speedrun. All right, simplification. Like all of this now makes no sense. It's not that it doesn't make sense, but it's not that big a deal. They have no queen. How are you gonna checkmate me? Well, they could. Let me stop talking because I've gotten checkmated like that many times before. Okay, let me activate my rooks. Okay, open line. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put this one in. There's no way, I mean, it's happened, but I'm gonna put 138 already. All right, new 3 minutes. Now D4, okay, this is looking like, look, it could be the London Jobaba if they play 3, or they could play 4 and they transpose into Pirc's defense. Now he plays C6. That cannot be right. But why? Cha. This has to be the way to punish you for it. But let me go here. That's true. And the quality of my games is gonna change too. You'll see it. Okay. Now this is in the air. Oop. Now up a piece. That's the end of it. Now we're playing a 1552. You're right. Yeah, I don't like to play. And look, if you play Blitz, because maybe you don't have a lot of time, you want to play 3-minute games, try to do it with the increment 3-2. That way it's not that crazy. All right. Now it's funny how they cannot even castle now. Oh, we said at the same time. We stay here for a little bit longer. Yeah. Okay. One square in between the queen and the knight. Diagonally, the knight cannot hit me again. I'm putting pressure on e5. So much pressure on e5, actually. Let me be careful. I'm up a piece, so simplification makes sense. Okay, they cannot castle anyways. I'm still putting pressure on e5. D4 actually is the move. Boom. Well, when you play Blitz, it's very important. A lot of it is reflex. When you play classical games, it's also important. Like, look, the last tournaments I've played, we've had 90 minutes per player, plus 30-second increment. And you might think, that's a lot of time. But you're playing, you focus, you look at the clock, you're down to 75 minutes, 60 minutes, 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 12 minutes. So yeah, you cannot just sit there and spend all the time you want. All right, let me take it by pinning the queen, simplification. So yeah, it's quick. So with my students, once we get there, that they can calculate and evaluate, we start to focus on doing it faster, little by little. Okay, we got that one. New game. And this would be 139. And the same thing. Uh-oh, that's a free pawn. And I go back to safety. All right. They're down a pawn. They need craziness. So, just in case. Let me destroy your pawn structure. Knight b to d2. Let's do it. Now I did take, but I'm not gonna castle here anyways. I have a healthy pawn structure. I'm up a pawn. I'm okay. This move I knew was gonna happen. Simplification, my friends. Improve your pieces. Simplification. Oh, don't go to e6. Ah, fork. I had a feeling. It's such a natural move to go to e6. All right. Black pieces, the same thing. Now, let me just update this. We made it to 140. And I think we're going to have time to play one back to 5-5. I enjoyed those games more, to be honest. All right, what could this be about? Austrian. I won the last game of yesterday's stream. You can find it on YouTube, by the way. It was with this line, and we had a very nice tactic at the end. Okay, we take you. All right, let them have that beautiful center, and now we strike it. But is this what we want right now? E5. Is this what we want right now? Yeah, I think so. We have to do it. We have to do it. Okay, I'm taking this pawn. If you give it to me for free, I'm not even going to hesitate. I might just get another pawn. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get another pawn. I'm just gonna take it. If it's wrong, it's wrong, but I'm gonna take it. Let me go with this knight. I want to leave the knight here to defend f6. They really want to play f6. Yeah, get out of here. What? All right. What can I tell you? This is a free piece, right? I mean, a free pawn. Cha-cha-cha. I might be missing something. It wouldn't be the first time, but I think we got the pawn. I mean, bishop h6 is always in the air, but we go back. No. Fair enough. Okay, back to safety. This pawn is isolated. This knight is a monster, defending and attacking. What more can we ask for? What? No, I was reading your comment and I'm like, he got it right. No, focus on tactics. Look, I always give the example of, okay, they resigned. Okay, we made it to 1498 at halftime, so I'm gonna make it a 5-5 again. When I first went to this chess academy that I tell you about, there were outside a lot of street players, right? So they didn't really know a lot of technique or anything, but they were playing all the time. So they had a very good vision of the board. Their tactics were sharp, and they would outplay us all the time because they would play silly moves like after e4, there was this guy that he would play e6 like the French, and then he would play g6, and then automatically there was a weak square on f6. It was a disaster opening wise, but then in the middle game he'll see tactics like crazy, so he'll always give us a hard time until some time passed, our technique improved, our tactics improved, he couldn't compete anymore. but he was easily a 1800 player, and he didn't know much theory, opening theory, or anything like that. All right, so it looks like a classical if they played d4. I need help? What do you mean I need help? I mean, I know I need help, but man, what kind of help? I need every kind of help. I know, but is it that obvious? Right, back to 5-5, no need to rush. We're playing a 1644, and he walked into the central fork. Now, seriously speaking, just know if you go to the YouTube, well, you're here on YouTube. If you go to the YouTube channel, you go to contact, you're gonna see my email address. Email me, that's the best way to do it. There we go, same old, same old. By the way, in the course we talk about 2 other plans you could use here. It doesn't have to be the central fork if you don't want it to be. All right, by the way, he's playing it the right way. The pair of bishops, he's a 1644, he knows what he's doing. Absolutely. All right, they have 1 central pawn left. I want to trade it for my flank pawn. All right. Are you gonna leave an isolated pawn in the center? I think the answer is no. So that means they got no pawns left in the center. All right. If I play 5, you're gonna be 5, 96. Makes sense. We're gonna have 6, improving the bishop. I could go to d5 next. Okay, knight to the center. No, I haven't. On like last Monday, I did a 9-hour speed run. We went from 500, I think, to 1100, and then I did another one from 11 to 1200, 12 to 13. Yesterday, 13 to 14. Today, hopefully, if we win this game, actually, if we draw this game, we make it to 1500. There we go. Hey, it's never too late. You're here. This is probably the last game, assuming we can win it. Actually, we just need to draw this game to make it to 1500. And we already made it out of the opening with a pretty nice position. I got the pair of bishops. Okay, that's it. I don't have to worry about the A file. I just need to improve this guy. How do we do it, huh? Like if I really wanted a draw, I would just trade because opposite color bishops. There's no way I'm well, okay. It's less likely that I lose then. No, man, I've gotten destroyed here. You've seen it if you've been following me. I've gotten destroyed ratings, all of. So yeah, I never get too confident. I didn't want to go to d7 because c4 was pretty annoying. All right, it looks like my pieces are pretty active. I gotta say, this knight is pretty good where it is right now. Okay, fair enough. I'm trying to be very, very careful, and I think I just messed it up. Did I just mess it up? No, I don't think so. Make no mistake, the closer we get to the endgame, if we trade rooks, it's only gonna be better for me, but I have to be careful. I'm trying to do it whenever I have some time. So every day, I'm trying to schedule it from the day before. You don't see. Okay, let me put it here. Wait. Maybe it's not on the about. Maybe it's under contact. Yeah, I think so. All right. Let me not have to worry about this pawn ever again. Now my king is ready to come over to e6, d5, c4. All right, welcome, enjoy it, and let me know if you have any questions, okay? No. We're good the way it is. We're good the way it is. Don't change the rules now. Not now, my friend. All right, active king, pair of bishops. This has to be a win if we don't get ahead of ourselves. In this game, this was a Pirc defense. And they went into the central fork. That's it. That's how we got to this position. Okay, check. Gotta be careful. My king is getting active, which is a good thing, but I have to be very, very careful. Yeah. Maybe it's time to back up. Oof, careful not to get checkmated. I have to be so careful not to get checkmated. Come on, guys. When I read that, I don't know what to tell you. The whole YouTube channel is about that. You even have them by playlist. There's a playlist with all the lessons on middle game, all the lessons on endgame in another playlist. Just put in the time, and at the very least, go over the videos, the thumbnails or the titles, and see what they are about. Just let me be careful not to fall for any forks. They have to push. Now, if they push, this is going to be a protected pass pawn. If they take, yeah, they pushed. It's getting better. This is getting better and better for us. Yeah. Thank you. And what to do? I think I have to go back here. Maybe king f7 first. Maybe. Dímelo, ¿qué hay, maestro? ¿Qué hay? Aquí, tranquilo, tratando de hacerme que sé. All right, my opponent offered a draw. And guys, mainly because it's not the scope of the course, the opening, let me actually accept the draw. Right, we made it to 1501. Now, the opening itself, I could try to push and quick it and push and try to really make it work. But it's probably going to come down to time pressure and so on. I don't even know if I have the technique to convert that, but it should be easier for black than for white. Now, 1600 player, we get to this position and they allowed 94. This is it. This is completely fine for us. That perfect center is gone. Don't forget, from here, you could play my favorite, which is bishop g4. You could play c6. Some people like a6 as well, but this one is pretty nice. That's it. From there, there's one left central pawn for white. We traded for one of our flank pawns and we play chess. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna update this first. 3 draws so far and we made it to 1500. I'll see you tomorrow to continue from 1500 to an up. Let's say an up. Yeah, that's my mother tongue. I know. The thing is, I have a lesson to teach in 4 minutes. So with the increment, I don't want to risk it. Well, you're going to play the king's Indian defense. You have your system under control. Just get ahead of yourself and take good notation. Let's review the game after. Every time I go to a tournament game, I'm thinking this is part of my long-term journey. So, no, you know your stuff. You've been doing your work. Enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Sorry, didn't see it. What's the question? Oh, I said at the beginning, I saw a picture, he was somewhere cold, like in the snow. but I don't know where. Bye, bye, bye. Okay, with my horrible pronunciation, big shout out to Shaikh Arshad Rahman. Close? You got it. Thanks for being here. Nah, I couldn't care less, guys. I'm doing this to add some value, to share what I know. I don't really care if I win or lose. I mean, what's the point? Good games, good games. I know, we had very good games, especially at the beginning. Thank you for being here. Bye, bye, bye. Hey, consistent training, consistent training. Lesson 102 on the YouTube channel is about a training plan. Stick to it. Stick to it. It's here. I just have a green screen, and I figured better to have it like this than having a green screen behind me. Adios, adios, adios. Be safe, guys.